guys, this is Grace and welcome to my channel and welcome to another version of digging through my stash. I'm showing you the items that I'm going to be using and we are working on letter I, which I decided to use ink. There are some ink pads in my stash that haven't seen the light of day or haven't been touched in a long time, so I decided to give them a little bit of love in this particular video. Specifically, I'm working with some ink pads from American Crafts. And so that's what I'm going to do here. And I've kind of did this style before with the embossing folders where I put them on the bottom, and I'm going to do that again here, just with kind of swiping the ink. So I'm going to do another rainbow style, and I'm just swiping them down. As you can see, it's very subtle color, but because I'm swiping them a few times, that will give them the color that I want. And I'm going with the rainbow order here on the white cardstock because I feel like that's the best background for a rainbow layout. So I'm just going to do this. When I started this layout, I just had, like, in my mind, I just wanted a swiping technique. That's it. Like, I didn't have any other vision or plans. And so you'll see me kind of, basically, you'll see the whole process of how things were changing, how some of them it was not working. And so I'm going to, just work on that. But for now, just realize that you're just seeing all of this kind of, well, not really in real time because it's sped up, but just the way I started it and how it's going to evolve. And the good thing, one of the good things about doing this series year long is that because I am working with stuff that I haven't used in a while, I'm realizing that there's things that I just need to throw away, such as this ink pad that I got from Michael's. The actual pad was coming off of the case, and so yeah, this is going to be thrown out, or that pink color will be thrown out as soon as I am done with this layout. Now I have this paper, this is from A Dear Lizzie line, and it has those borders, and I always have a hard time using papers like this because it has already a design and a border, and it just feels kind of constricting for me because I have to make sure that the photos that I use fit in that specific, like, inside the box, and sometimes my design just doesn't work well with that, or sometimes I want to add more paper but I don't want it to be kind of a layering background. And so it just, like, a light bulb hit me that maybe I can cut them in half, and all of those borders can be a border for 3 sides, and then I could just put something on the top, and that's what I'm doing here. But I noticed that it was a little bit short. If I cut it to 6-inch, some of my photos just kind of go beyond it in the bottom, and I didn't like that, and so I'm gonna move things around and decided I'm gonna do a border on the top so I can move it a little bit closer to the center of the layout. And I know it's gonna cover some of that swiping that I did, but it's okay, I still love it. And I'm just moving things around. I have 2, 4, 6, I have 9, no, yeah, 9 photos here, and these are just photos of when me and my 2 younger kids went on a Saturday brunch, and then later on we had lunch, and our lunch was boba drinks. If you have been watching my channel for a while, you know our obsession, our love for boba drinks, or for any food in particular. We just love food around here, and so you see a lot of food themed layouts from me. I have pre-printed my journaling already, and so I'm going to just cut that off the 8.5 by 11 paper that I have put all of the rest of the journalings that I was going to use for this month. And that really helps me to to be efficient in my scrapbooking. You can see that there's like smudges of ink on the top of my white cardstock, and I'm not gonna worry about that because I will be covering all of that up with a border. And I also have this love white or love cut apart that I have cut off of white cardstock, and I will be coloring that in. That's another way that I'm going to be using ink on this layout. And I'm just going through my papers trying to see what kind of borders will be good for the top of my layout. And I like this because it has some arrows, so I can create some direction to my page where I'm going to make sure that the points of that arrow point downwards so that the eye will be led directly onto the photos that I want. So as you can see, I haven't adhered anything because that's how I do my processes. I like to just put my photos or put the elements of my layouts down so I can move them around until I am happy with them. And I wanted some scallops with this layout, but I don't have like this, a large scallop border. And so this is a trick that I used to do a long time ago, but haven't done in a while. And so that's just punching some circles, 1-inch circles off of a pattern paper and then cutting them in half, and then that's when I create my scallop. And then I of course cover up the seams with another paper strip in order to make it really look like a scallop border. And then I decided I'm going to do a 1/2-inch border on the top, and then I'm going to cut that same paper and just 1/4 inch and then put that on the bottom. And I really love how that turned out. That black border just defines the sections, and I love how that looks. But I noticed that my photos were, I mean, it's colorful, it's okay here, but while I was creating the layout, it just felt like it wasn't standing out that very well. But I'm going to just think about that for a little bit. Now I am going to pull out another ink, and this time I'm going to go with the Distress. Maybe I could have used the other ink pads that I was using, but I know that the Distress ink can handle water, and so that's what I'm working with here. And I just have a little cup with water and a brush, and I'm just picking up that color that I've smooshed on this non-stick surface, and I'm just picking that up and transferring that color onto my white paper that has the cutout of the letters. So that's something that you can do with your ink as well. I love inks because you can do a lot with it, not just swiping or coloring the edges or even stamping, but you can even personalize a cut apart, a die cut letters with just your ink. Another thing that I had wanted to do with my ink was some splatters, and that I believe is what I'm going to be doing next. I'm going to let this love word dry, and then I'm going to move my photos because I don't want them to get any inks. So I'm going to move them, and I'm going to bring out my background piece again. I have this brown chestnut, and you can see it's falling apart again. I've had some of these ink pads for a long time, and I'm going to smoosh them onto the non-stick mat, and it wasn't picking it up. Then I have a Distress ink with the brown color, and it wasn't picking it up either. So I have this black mist, which is also I consider an ink, and now it has splotches. And I like that so much better. I just wanted some inking, some color on there, and I really like that. And then I decided that I can flicker some of that, and I love that too. There's that little, that artsy type of addition to the bottom, and I really like that. So I had to set that aside to dry. And then that's when I was thinking my photos needed a little bit more definition. And so I grabbed a black cardstock in my stash and just matted all of those photos before I adhered them onto my layout. And so everything is adhered, and then now I'm working on adhering the title. Now the title will be Food Love, and so part of that would be this love that I just colored in. And then I am going to get some letter stickers to finish off the title. Now what I noticed was that my love wasn't quite dry yet. It was really still very wet. And so I have to handle that with care because the words are skinny in some parts already. So I have to be very careful not to tear anything down. And then I'm adhering that with some liquid adhesive. Plus I am putting a stamping block just to make sure that it is pressed down on the paper properly. So I'm using these stickers from Piggy Tails. I've had this for a long time as well. And I just wanted to go with a single color just so that I don't have to introduce another color into this layout. So I'm just going to do blue, and that blue represents that blue shirt of my son. And then the good thing about having a lot of letter stickers is I can pick and choose letter stickers that I know that I have enough letters for the word that I'm trying to spell. So that was a good thing that I had all of that blue there. And I had written in a little post-it all of the dates of the layouts that I had planned on doing in the month of May. And so I have that in a little post-it on the side of my table. And then I can go ahead and stamp the date with my date stamp so that I can say that this layout is totally done by the time I am done with this video. So this is pretty much done, but I'm noticing that although I really like the subtle effect of the swiping on the bottom, I felt like it needed something else. And so I remembered I had these emoji stamps, and I gotta tell you guys, I had to wipe them because there had a lot of dust in there, and because that means that I haven't touched it in a long time. And so I picked a few and I matched it with, so I have I think 7 blocks of swiped inks on the bottom, and so I matched it. I picked one emoji for each of the panels that I created, and I'm just stamping it with the same ink that I had used for that swiping so that I'm not incorporating any other colors, and it's just kind of a tone on tone type of thing. And I love how it turned out. I gotta say, this layout is really experimental for me. Like I said in the beginning, I just had the idea of swiping, but then it kind of evolved to all of these different things. But I really loved it because it allowed me to play, allowed me to experiment and try new things. And it's still within my style, you know, there's still the blocks, there's still the multi-photo, it's still a multi-photo layout, but it has some mixed media that I probably would have never done if I was still in my comfort zone. So I hope that this will inspire you to get out of your comfort zone, to try something new, and try it just in a part of your layout, but still maintain the style that you already have in the rest of the layout. So that is it. I'm not sure if I'm going to add any more things here other than the stamping, but it has really been fun. If you are new to my channel or new to the series, I am digging through my stash for this year, wherein I'm trying to use up or use again some items in my stash, and I'm doing it A through C style. And so now we are in the letter I. We're almost halfway to the alphabet, and I just can't believe how time flies. I've still been enjoying it. I appreciate Peggy, who has been working alongside me, and also other people that are trying to play along. So if you are, please make sure that you add it in this in the comment section so I can look at your layout. Or if you're doing it in like Instagram, you can always tag me and do the hashtag. So if you have any other questions, make sure that you leave that in the comment section below, and I will try to answer it as fast as I can. I do want to talk about this little part here. I was trying to do the pink, but because I had smushed the pink so hard on that part that the image is not showing anymore. And so I just decided to go with the brown. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in another video. Bye.